they asked me what I was gonna do next.
Right.
And I said, man, I really want a 6'4" Impala. Like, this is my dream car. If I'm gonna flip it up, I'm gonna go get a classic.
They got ain't know about side, huh? Let me put that shit on.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy G5, 5Cast, man. Hey, I'm doing it big right now because I'm gonna tell you something. I was at an event probably about a week and a half ago, and me and Bun, we had to go down there. We wanted to do something. Slim Thug was having some type of event or whatever.
Yeah, deals.
Like, hey G, he said Slim got some cars down in this other spot, so we probably can just do it down there. We don't have to go do all this other stuff. I said, okay, cool. I said, we get down there, and what I'll do is I'll find out. I'll talk to some people and see what's up. And so I get down there, man, and I tell you, everybody was like really cool. And so I just happened to stumble across a couple brothers. In fact, what's the brother with the blue car?
With the blue one?
One over right beside you.
Oh, Kerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kerry, my friend, brother.
Yeah.
So I saw him, I talked to him for a second, whatever, and then just kind of I scrolled across this beautiful blue daggone Chevy over here. And come to find out, this brother right here, it belonged to him. And talked to him for a minute, man. He was a good guy. And so I had something going on as far as what I'm doing right now. And I said, you know what? He was very interactive. I said, let me go ahead and reach out to him and see if he would just like to come on the show. Because this is something that it's going to be real huge. Yeah, Dolla Bill. Big deal. That's the man right there all day. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I can't call it, man. I'm doing good, you know. Life is good. I was so surprised when we met.
Okay.
You know, we were down at the car show, and you walked up, and I remember you saying, "Can I take pictures of your car?" And I didn't know who you was from Can of Paint, right? And I was like, "Yeah, man, go and do your thing, man." But it's come full circle.
Right.
You know, you was walking with Bun. I'm in the video with Bun. I'm having a blast. You know, shout out to him, man. But yeah, we just had a good time, man. And then when you called me to tell me about what you was doing, man, I was like, man, let's go.
Okay. So this is the thing for you to understand. Right, I'm a country North Carolina boy. And so we're very, I would say, I'm sure everybody say it about themselves, but we're very respectful about people's stuff. Like, we don't just go walk up to nobody's stuff and start taking pictures and looking without asking. But sometimes you can ask those things and people can be rude or whatever. So to me, it was you being genuine. So you really showed some taste of love, you know what I'm saying? And so that's something that, I'm not gonna say I rarely see, but I don't see it as much. Like, and for you to be that way, I said, you know what, I knew I wanted you to be a part of this right here.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm honored, man. I'm blessed, man. Let's tell them all about whatever we want to talk about.
Okay, but just tell everybody a little something briefly about yourself, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, my name is Bill Brown, you know, a.k.a. Dolla Bill. That's what everybody call me that know me. But I am a 48-year-old civil engineer that I do by my day job.
All right.
And I'm a client executive with a company called Telus.
Okay.
And so I build buildings from start to finish. I'm chasing clients. I'm pursuing the buildings.
Okay.
We win the work. It goes into operations, and then we turn the keys over. And so that's what I do on a daily basis.
Okay.
That's my day job.
Right.
And I love what I do. And so that's a little bit about me. My wife, Angela, she's here in the background, you know, with me, supporting me today. But man, if it wasn't for her, bro, you know how it goes with the women.
Yeah, so, because you know what, we're very impulsive. We'll do some stuff, and we were about to set up last week, but wife was like, "Oh, come on, time out, boy." You just say you move too fast. Slow down. That's what I'm talking about. That's right there.
Yeah. I got a son, DJ.
Okay, shout out to on DJ.
DJ, yep. Shout out to the kid. He's in Chicago, man.
Okay.
Played a little bit of ball while he was in school. Put himself through school.
Right.
Had a shot at the NFL, didn't work out, but he's back in Chicago doing his thing, man, and I'm loving every minute of it, watching him grow.
Okay.
So that's us. My wife is in HR with a big software company.
Okay.
And that's just really what we do, man. We empty nesters by the fact that he's in Chicago.
Right.
And so we get to kind of do what we want to do, and she's got my back, and she lets me play with the toys.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yes, sir.
Man, I just it's something amazing. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. So are you from Houston? Are you a Houston?
No. So I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I was born in Hannibal, Missouri. Yeah.
Man, come on.
Yeah, I was born in Hannibal, Missouri, man. A little bitty town, man, north, hour and a half north of St. Louis.
Right.
I went to school in Rolla, Missouri.
Okay.
At University of Missouri at Rolla, now called Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Okay.
And so I went to school there, then I moved to St. Louis. So I spent majority of my life in St. Louis up until I came to Houston.
Okay.
And so I came to Houston in 2015.
Okay.
I was here before. Let me back up. I was here before in 2002 to 2004.
Okay.
And I was building an airport out here. And man, that's when I got into the slab culture and the screwed up music, man. I didn't know nothing about that coming from the north.
Okay, so cool. So that brings us this right here. So like the interest into vehicles and cars and stuff like that, where did that love come from?
Man, it started when I was a teenager. So my brother, I have a deceased brother, by the way, David Brown. And my brother, man, he was 13. And he was already working on cars. I had a granddad who was a master mechanic with GM, God rest his soul. And man, we was always around cars as little kids. I didn't get into them as much. I was really focused on school, and I was, you know, we did the cars. I had friends that had cars, but I never had one, you know. So once my brother got involved in it, I started kind of following what he was doing. You know, he had an Escort, man. He painted it all green with some spray cans, bro.
Everybody had an Escort.
Yes, sir, man, with the wheels on it, man.
Escort, you know.
Yeah. And so that's how I got into it. And now fast forward to where I am today, the beauty of, I've always been into cars. I didn't know that cars would allow me to allow my business and my personal life to collide. That's what it did. That's what it does for me. Like when I pull up, I'm an executive in a world that is full of people that don't look like me. Right. So it's harder for me to bridge a gap and shake a man's hand and he want to get to know me. It's just natural. I ain't got nothing against nobody. It's just how it works. And so for me, the first time I ever bought a vehicle, then I tricked it out. It's a way to bridge a gap between two people that just got a common interest. You know what I'm saying? And so for me now, it collides in everything that I do. And so with work, I'll pull up. My wife would tell you, I'll pull up in any one of these because that's who I am and that's what I'm about. And when I get out of the car, a lot of guys that would probably never even say hi to me is talking to me, and I meet all kinds of people. Then flip it to the game, to the street, and to what we're doing in the car clubs in the community. And you just get in, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely that. And I tell you, it kind of goes with the show. So what the show is doing is really bridging that gap. You know what I'm saying? I've been like just all over the world, right? And so I've been around so many different people that just what people want to say to people, different levels, you want to say, right? But there are always their commonalities. And in those commonalities, sometimes we won't know that is there because we won't have those type of conversations.
That's right.
But usually it probably takes something, you know, maybe a car pulled up, like, oh man, I didn't know you had the interest right there. Oh man, so what's under the hood? You know, because some people are extreme doers. Some people are like by trade, I'm an aircraft mechanic, right? But you ain't gonna get that from me. You ain't gonna get them. I work on helicopters and jets and stuff like that. Probably by looking at me, right? But if I can talk stuff from an aerospace standpoint, or even when you talk about you building an airfield, and I can tell you about the classes of airspace and stuff like that, right? It's kind of like those are things that can bring people together. You get what I'm saying? So what this will do is, I think, it'll take all those different entities, whether it's the slab culture, whether it's the lowrider culture, whether it's the ATV culture, whether it's the old race car culture, right? The commonality in it that I see is that everyone has something in common, you know, but they're just really afraid to talk about it.
I'm telling you, man, cultures are so different, man. You just, you know, you see somebody that don't vibe like you, they don't move like you don't want you tend to walk right by them. And this, like I said, I've met so many walks of life in just pulling up in a car, you know, from kids to, you know, 100-year-old people, man, that you just can put a smile on their face.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? So for me, that's why I said this car game is serious because it collides now with what I do. I've taken what I love and I've used it to figure out how to make it work for me in my business. Yeah, and that's for me. That's why I'm so in it so hard.
Okay, talk to me about this car right here, man. Like what really? And like I say, we'll get up and we'll talk about it in a minute, whatever. But just like, how did you even come across this car?
Man, the guy that does a lot of my sound and builds and all that, Alex Restrepo from House of Sound, man. Shout out House of Sound. And I was putting this together, this slingshot. And when I was done with it, they asked me what I was gonna do next. And I said, man, I really want a 6.4 Impala. Like, this is my dream car. If I'm gonna flip it up, I'm gonna go get a classic. So I'm standing in his shop in the front of his shop.
Right.
And there's some guy behind me, man. He tells me, let me call him and get him.
Right.
And they tell me about the car, and he sends me pictures of the car, and I'm looking at the car like, it's running? Because it looked like that minus the wheels.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the lights and all that, I've done all that. But the paint, the interior was already like that when I bought it. So I'm looking at it like, man, he gonna want too much, you know. And then he shot me the price, and I'm looking at him like, for real? And he was like, yeah, I need to get rid of it because I got newborns and kids.
Right.
And my wife is on my butt, is just sitting in the garage. Been sitting in the garage for 3 years.
Grown wife was in it.
Yeah. And it was sitting in the garage for 3 years. So long story short, fast forward, we talked to what had to get the permission from the wife. But I got the car in a couple of days, man. We bought the car, and that was in 2020 in the pandemic. That's when I bought it. Yeah, and I bought it with the old 327 motor in it. Now it's got a LT 84 5.3.
Okay,
yeah.
We definitely get on these things.
Yeah. But that, like I said, it's a 3 year in the making because it started with a 327. I flipped to a 350.
Okay.
Had all kinds of problems with it. You know, it is what it is. I ain't trying to bash nobody, but I had all kinds of problems with it. And then I just decided, man, to go big and put that LT in it.
Ain't nothing wrong with going big with that thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I see you like a array of vehicles, whether it's the new technology, slingshots. I had a couple of slingshots myself.
Yeah.
You down with the F-150 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, is it anything in particular about cars you like, or you just love cars?
I love cars, and I'm like, this guy has blessed us with this.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, when I buy a car, I never buy a car the way it is.
Right.
My wife will tell you, like when I look at it, I look at the end result. You know, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the end result. It's already in my head. And so just like her car, you know, she told me what she wanted. We made it work. But like with the truck, man, it's just everything that I do, it got to be me. Like it's got to be one of a kind. You know what I mean?
I think
so. That's my motivation.
How like it's the all electric? Is that the all electric?
Yeah, that's the BMW iX, man. The M6.
So what's your thoughts? I mean, you've had it for a while now. So like, what would you say be your?
I'll give you the real story.
I need the real.
The real story is when I first saw it, I ain't like it.
Right.
Yeah, my wife called me. She wanted that car. She saw it. She liked it. I looked at it, man. I'm from the side. I was like, what's the big deal, right? But man, when you get inside this thing, it's a BMW iX M60, so it's got the dual motors. And this thing drives itself. It is when you say fully enhanced, fully electric, and just innovative. This thing is, man, it's next level. I mean, it was funny because I didn't like it. But then when I got up there to look at it, because I knew she liked it,
right?
I wasn't gonna just tell her no,
right?
And so
and no problem on work anyway.
No
one gonna work anyway.
So we get in there,
about to get it,
and the dude say you got to drive it, and I'm busy, man. I'm trying to get home to work. I'm not really feeling the car, but he said you got, and even she said you got to drive it.
Okay.
So then we get in it, man, and I hit that gas, the electric, and this thing does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Yes, So I was literally sold in, but I had to play it cool.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? We got back.
So they gonna mess with them numbers.
But man, we made it work, man. And I mean, I'm glad she's happy, man. I try to get in it whenever I can, but you know, that's the daily driver for her. So but that's that right there. That's just out of this world, next level.
Right. So
that's a 24 too.
Okay. So the slingshot, what made you want to get into that world?
So the slingshot is a funny story, man. I had got divorced. I was doing my thing, man, just trying to find myself, and it was kind of my divorce present, I guess is the best way to say it. But at the end of the day, man, it was a time in my life where I was trying to find myself again.
Definitely.
And I just said, man, I'm gonna do some things that's different, fun. Keep myself out of mischief and trouble that they need to be in, and that was kind of the result. The beauty of it, bro, like I went for the modern touch with the classic feel.
Right.
It didn't have the original motor in it, so it was like, you know, I just went on and did that. But it's LT 84 5.3.
Right.
With a 6L90 transmission, brother.